So for this week's quilt story, I've got my friend Alice, who is brilliant at articulating what drives us to quilt and explaining it in a way that I know I understand, but that I can't say as well as you.
Quilting is a way of being creative, and it feels like I'm expressing creativity, even though I can't draw. I haven't developed the skill sets to be able to draw or paint or, sculpt. But by bringing materials together and exercising real craft skill in the manipulation of materials, I can create. It's part of the way that I balance a lot of my professional work with the rest of being me and the rest of my identity. So throughout my career, where I've worked in industry, I've worked in very science and engineering subjects, I've worked in consulting, and now I'm an academic. Broadly, it's all about what's going on up here and using words and articulating ideas and doing a lot of typing. So the making, sewing and quilting, I also knit and I garden, those are really important things. I don't think they're so much about balancing as just exposing all aspects of who I am and what kind of keeps me going. If I only operated in that mode that I have to do for most of my professional life, then that just wouldn't be a healthy way of operating as a whole person. So quilting is part of representing me as a complex, messy individual, rather than pretending it's all fine and there's a really clear track that I'm following. I quilt in terms of process, absolutely for myself. It's about making sure that the rest of the duties and obligations of life are shut out for a period. I do very little quilting in small bits. It's a big patch of time that I award myself to work on something that's for me. The quilts themselves, though, I find it relatively easy to let them go out into the world because they've already given me what I wanted to get from them. If I was talking to someone who wasn't sure whether or not they were going to take on doing a quilt, because that sounds like a really big deal, I'm going to make a quilt, I would say that actually why not try making a cushion cover and see whether or not you get the rewards from something that's eminently doable within the space of a couple of hours. And I suspect that very rapid realization that you can make something usable, beautiful, individual without a huge investment of time and with some level of skills, but skills that are very quickly picked up and learnt and developed, gives you a great platform to kind of go, right, next, king size bed quilt, here I come.